everybody, that is here. Very happy to see all of you on the other side of the screen. Today I would like to film final part and wrap up the video, which I thought will be something quick, just to complete or add additional block to my CPU block roundup that I did 2022 and a little bit in 2023. But it's turned to be a little bit a longer journey. It seems like a recurring scheme lately, as I get stuck with my Geiger counter thing for a couple of weeks, try to figure out the situation, and the same situation happened with a Core1 block from Alphacool. This is a not like block that was just released, that was released in the beginning of the year, I think, or springtime, but because we moved our office, I have like all my health issues, and I didn't have a chance to do much videos, and now I feel better, we settled, so I start going back on it again, hopefully. So I decided to add Core1 to my roundup and see how it stuck with everything else we tested. We had a kit killer, variety of EK models, and see what's happening. Another thing why I decided to remember to extend my CPU blocks roundup was some rumbling coming from Germany. I think the Igor Lab did a little mentioning that he tested it, IM5 overclocking or something, whatever he did, like really advanced stuff for me, and he was surprised that the Core1 block produced really good results. So it stuck a little bit back on my mind. Then DeBauer also did some blocks roundup, which was pretty brief, and maybe some of you already saw it. It was a couple months ago. He also said that, listen guys, this looks like Core1 pretty decent block, and I said okay, cool, so let's verify that, because it's not a secret that Germans like to rub each other backs a little bit. Not necessarily I'm saying it negative way, but they do it. So they always support each other, which is an admirable thing to do. But I decided, okay, I'll do my own testing and my verification and see what's happening. So I mounted this block up on my test bench that I used before, and I start getting really strange results. So I had like 4 or 5 degrees difference in favor of Core1. I'm quite cynical guy, so I don't believe in miracles, and it's 1-2 degrees one thing. When you get like a little bit more, it means that you screwed up. So I start trying to figure out what's happening, because basically the rig's the same, but all software was outdated, so I updated Windows, I updated all testing tools, both Intel and all other stuff, and I don't know, is it reflected or not, what's happened. Room temperature seems the same, hardware seemed more or less the same, but somehow the difference was a little bit bigger than my level of comfort. So I bite the bullet, and you can see it right here, still on. I already sold all EK things I used, so I pop up brand new block, Velocity 2, which is probably #1 selling block in my store, and retested everything against Velocity 2 back to back. The difference shrink, but still I was getting 1-2 degrees difference in favor of Core1. So it appears that, I don't know how, but Alphacool pulled out a winner out of the hat. It's very decent block. It shows great result, at least an LJ 1700, and I'm wholeheartedly recommended it if you like this design. A little bit later I show you internals, which I filmed separately, just to see what's happening inside of the block and try to guess how they achieve such a wonderful result. But before that, I just like to give you a quick overview of this block and tell you why I think it's good, not only speaking about performance. So that's how it looks. We have several versions. I use silver one, plain, no RGBs. You can have the same, which is just painted black. So if you like black, you can have black. Also, they have a version with RGB strip light inside, so you have a little bit of a cutout with plastic, and you can have a little bit of light going on. And that version coming is another 3 colors, again silver, black, and also they just released the white, which was relatively recent, a couple weeks ago from now. So that's your choices. Block comes with backplate for Intel boards, and not a cheap one. Before we tested XPS, and it was coming with a flimsy, easily bendable plastic backplate. This one comes with solid metal strong backplate, which is substantial for LJ 1700 boards, which is known for be a little bit warpy, uneven, and extremely sensitive to proper mount. So that's good thing. So that's one thing. Second thing, very rare, because I see the trend, which I personally absolutely dislike, the fact that everybody trying to make products fit one and single purpose, like we have it here with EK blocks. So it's made for LJ 1700 and that's it. You want to, whatever reason, change to AMD, too bad. You want to change for whatever reason to LJ 1200, too bad. Buy a new one. So this block comes with a little bit flimsy but universal system. So we have brackets for Intel, if we want. We slap a name. Need to turn it 180 degrees. Click. It's a little bit flimsy, but that's it. You have Intel block. You switch or just decide to use the same thing on AMD. AMD brackets coming in. Again, putting in. Click. Now we have AMD. Wonderful. So everybody was talking that, always saying that investment protection is kind of a fantasy that never works, but I think this, with how expensive everything is, that purchase of GPU block is equal of purchasing used car, maybe we start thinking a little bit more about how you spend your money if you potentially can reuse your water cooling equipment in the future. And for the different boards, for Intel we have one set of screws that goes into the motherboard, and for the AMD we have a different set of posts, I would say, screws and posts. One thing that was really surprising for me, and I couldn't believe it until I tried it, but this block is required 0 tools. And actually it says specifically in the manual that you should not use tools and everything is mounted by hand. So you screw the posts, it says just do it by your hands, which I did, but because I was testing, removing, repasting, putting back, retesting, still confused, so I did many times. I noticed that when I put posts by hand, sometimes when you remove the blocks they get unscrewed, which is not very nice thing. So I give it, if you look on the clock, like 5 minutes turn with the tool. I wouldn't lie to you. So anyways, so that's the first part. Second part, when you, oh, that's the wrong bracket for this demonstration, but let's go back to Intel for a second. But I have to show you because it was a little bit surprising thing for me. So when we put block on, to my big surprise, there was no springs whatsoever. Look, we always have some sort of springs. Here, nothing. So you just load the block on, you take your screws, tighten them hand tight with your hands. No freaking tool. It specifically says in the manual, no tools. And that's it. And I was thinking, like, how it's even possible? It seems like so much talks about proper mounting pressure, blah blah blah, especially with all these upgrades that coming from different other manufacturers. For example, like Watercool is upgraded, put different strongest screws or different washers and everything, so they get proper result out of the existing models. This one, nothing. You just put it on, put screws on, and that's it. That's totally confused me, beats me, but it works. Somehow it works. I don't know how, but this is kind of things that I never seen before. I don't know, maybe we had it in some really old blocks, but I can't recall anything like this mounting that existed in previous models. So yeah, I was pretty sure that because such a lousy mounting, it wouldn't perform well, but it did. So it's amazing. If you're after performance, that looks like it's your product to go. And the only reason you can go for other model, if you don't care performance and you dislike the design. This is very traditional, squarish, nothing special design that we saw for past, I don't know, 15 years at least. So if you want something fancy like EK and you want to pay extra money for it, be my guest. Other than that, I might be using this one in my own rig next time around. Although the difference, it's not like that dramatic, and I really like heat killer design, but this is product that definitely worth attention, and it's cost effective as well. So I would like to end this video with quick insert on how I disassemble the block, just to look what's inside, how hell they achieve it. I didn't really found any miracles inside, but I would like to share it with you. Okay guys, let's see how the magic is done with this miracle product. I'll open it up and check out what's inside. By the way, I hope I can show it, but wasn't sure if it will come along or not. When I just opened this product first time, I noticed that it looked like some sort of deformation of the cold plate, and actually you can see on the camera that the area where supposedly we have microfins, it's probably so thin that it's got deformed during the process of milling. That's what I'm thinking. And when I saw it first time, I thought like, oh my god, it's not even up, and probably performance will be affected and won't be so good. But apparently, not only it makes zero difference, the block outperform everything else we saw so far. So let's open up. I put it on my anti-spill spilling mat because I probably still have some DazMode protector inside. And we'll look up how the block is made, and after that we're going to assemble it back, and I'm planning to make second test bench for IM5 motherboard and see if the blocks we tested for LJ1700 will stock up in the same manner as we had before. So I would say probably yes Oh, that's interesting. This screw was much shorter. I don't think it's broke, no? That's weird, I need to remember. Round side, corner, short screw. Okay. Let's see what we can... Alright, that's interesting. So this is a look like a combination between parallel channels like we see on heat killer or most of the common blocks, and kind of matrix type of pattern we saw on all the blocks, and I believe it's still used for SwiftTech, which OEM'd by Corsair. So Corsair block is SwiftTech block, and it's usually wasn't too popular because it's always worked in a manner that it's trap a lot of junk, and it's more often get clogged than the parallel channel versions. But this is, we see we have some sort of channel system, but also a few lines cut across, so it's a kind of hybrid. And I wonder if this could be a reason that we got that improvement in performance. Well, I don't have it here, but I will walk away and see if I can grab a caliper unit. I'm just curious how thick is a plate is, and is it the reason why it's deformed, or it's something else? It looks like the whole thing is much bigger than this deformation area. Yeah, way bigger. So I'm not sure why we have that deformation thing. I would expect it to be exactly the size of this milled area, but it's obviously it's much smaller. Yeah, this is kind of weird. Okay, so let's leave this aside. What else we have? We have an O-ring. We have a jet plate, which is look like piece of rubber, and something else. Wow. Okay, so top part pure decorative, big chunk of aluminum, nothing really here. This is look like a copper piece by its weight, which is plated, and we have something here, but it seems I can remove it. Oh, okay. Alright, so this is a jet plate made out of some sort of plastic. Little piece of... I'm just looking at this thing, and it looks like additional molding part, but normally what we have with the blocks... Okay guys, I was so surprised I didn't even look in the camera, so I'm not sure how you saw it well so far. But usually you have a hole or water pathways that just go in, and it gets spread usually across just thin jet plate like this, and it goes in some ways. But here we have this molded piece. I'm not sure what's the purpose of it, but it might create a different flow pattern from what we usually have. So this is a little bit of mystery, and again, just look in the cam. Just make sure you can see properly how this jet plate thing is. It's just a molded piece of plastic. It's hollow inside. I can't quite show you, but I just want to tell you that it's some sort of cover on the inside behind those slots, so it's hold some amount of liquid before it's going to hit the jet plate. And I think the purpose of this rubber piece is just simple insulation. You just don't want water go anywhere outside of this slit part. So yeah, mystery design that works really well. That's all I can tell you guys. We got a consistent difference, and this is a very interesting product, that's for sure. Now I understand what it is. This piece, I don't think it's create any water flow whatsoever. It's just a guide to put this piece, you can see, just put this piece in place correctly. That's all what it is. Okay, alright. At least we figure that part out. Okay, let's put it back and put it aside till I'm ready to do IM5. Well, I film it just in case. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but why not film it as long as I'm doing this? I like the fact that O-ring going into the place without much hassle. Many of you remember that, for example, with the K-blocks, sometimes it's damn impossible to put O-ring back. So people have to resort to such thing as Vaseline and whatever, anything that can hold it in place. Just wondering, is this thing supposed to be here first? Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. So yeah, that's how it works. This is interesting. Okay. We remember short screw here, and the rest screws longer for whatever reason. So thank you very much for watching. That's a relatively quick video, but I think it's right to the point. So see you soon, guys, with new stuff. Backlog keep growing. I have ideas, I don't have time. See you soon.